Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you please type the number 1 in the chat box and know that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Rick. Afternoon, Brenda. Hey, John. Good afternoon. Morning, Helen. All right. Lots of ones in there. Very much appreciated. As we go ahead and get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance before ever taking on that trade or adding that setup. Afternoon there, Jim. All right. We've got a lot happening this week. We've got September 30th, which is tonight. I don't think so. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Do me a favor, Andrew. Check on that, please. I'm pretty sure that was canceled because of scheduling conflicts. But Monster Market Movers is tonight. Mastermind is tomorrow. Weekly Q&A, Weekly Whispers Q&A is coming up on the 3rd. I don't have next week's calendar up, but that looks like Thursday. Cover Call Explorer on the 9th. I've got one more surprise one for you guys yet. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook on regular schedule, as is Power Hour, Cover Call Explorer, and E-Mini Think Tank. Well, with the exception of I will not be doing power option plays this evening. I will be doing it tomorrow instead. Let's see. Wealth Builders follow us page. Make sure you follow along various social platforms, guys. There's a ton out there. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. The check-in. Trip, I don't believe, is able to do it this evening because of his move this week, and I can't do it because I am teaching Monster Market Movers. So just check on it with Suzanne, please. But make sure you follow along, guys, to keep up with the latest and greatest out there. Here's our Trading Boss Manifesto. You can download this on the website. You can download it on tradinglikeaboss.com. You can download it on robertjroy.com. Pretty soon we'll have a 4th site we're going to have it on for you as well. Let's see. Monster Market Movers is tonight, folks. If you have not registered for Monster Market Movers and you're not currently a member of Monster Market Movers, $49, the very first one you're in. I said it last week. I'll do the exact same thing this week. If you register for the class, take the 2-hour training, watch all of the recording, come back and say, it didn't help me at all, I'll give you the $49 back. That's how convinced I am of how much of a difference this can and will make in your trading. Okay, before I go to the next page, I know what's on there. I'm just getting ready to do it. What trades did y'all do? Drop your trades in. Funded, non-funded, doesn't care. Today, Friday, Thursday, the end of last week, it's fine. Made money, broke even, cost you a little bit, doesn't matter, drop them in. This is an accountability factor right here, right now, to you put it out to the world of I'm doing this. So let's see. First one was John. Friday afternoon trades. Wheel of Fortune on NVIDIA. Naked put on Sava. Cash flow $1,300. Not bad. So NVIDIA, Sava, $1,300 between those two companies. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. I'm excited for everybody. I love seeing these results in there. My phone is lighting up today from trader friends of mine. Let's see. Stephanie said SPX end of day trade Friday for $900. Nice. There you go. So here, while you guys are typing in, here is Trade with Rob from last week. This is the last day that we've got closed results on where I did a video. I do not do videos on Fridays. So I did a video on Thursday, which we'll have the results out today. I don't want to put them out until I do them in the live video. We had 3 trades on Thursday, which were NVIDIA, for Thursday. NVIDIA, which is the 25th. Actually, this was for Wednesday. Sorry. We'll have the Thursday ones out today. But this was NVIDIA, QQQ, and Restoration Hardware. No trade taken on NVIDIA. On QQQ, we made 18 whole dollars. These are all one contract trades. We do not do multiple contracts here. One contract trades. And then on RH, we got in when the stock was $344.75. We got out at $335.75. So about $9 move on the stock, $648 move on the options for the P&L for one contract now. And if you look, and I know this page can get a little bit confusing, so I'll do my best to explain it to you. But if you look at the bottom detail box, the bottom corner down over here, I've put out 94 candidates since June 25th. 33 of them were winners, 9 went against us, 2 broke even, 50 never came to fruition. Just like this one here, no trade, right? For the 44 trades we did do, we're up $222.02 per trade on average, $9,768.84 total P&L. And of course, that 222.02 is not winning trades. That's every trade. That's winning and losing trades are counted inside of that number, and break-even trades are counted in there as well. All right, that's how we get to 44. 33 and 9 is 42 plus 2. This plus this plus this equals this, 44. So for every one of those trades, the average was 222.02 for that. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Just to confirm that there is no inner circle training this evening. I don't even expect Tripp in here today because of his move going on with his property, house that he bought. And at the top here, folks, I'm not going to use red. That's not going to make any sense. October 10th, mark your calendar. All right. I've done switchback training before where I've taught in mastermind group. I've taught it in Inner Circle. I've taught it in Trading You. I've taught it in Monster Market Movers. I've taught it just to put up on YouTube that people that could take in the trades of Trade with Rob know what to do, right? Well, here's what we're doing. If you are in one of these 3 groups, if you're in Inner Circle, if you're in Mastermind Group, or you're in Trading You, on October 10th, hit the wrong button, but on October 10th, I am doing a live training, 8 p.m. Eastern, on the switchback trade strategy. The difference of this one is I have taught the very straightforward, basic way to take this trade over and over again every time I have taught it. I have never taught any advanced technique at all. I only teach it with a, move up, pull back, and bounce. We're going to talk about it with an aggressive entry where it would just be a breakout. We're going to talk about 2 or 3 different things that I have not gone into in the past. And the reason I'm doing it in front of a live audience is I always feel it because I can just do it easy myself, just record it at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday to make it real easy for me. But questions get asked in there that I may not think of, or I just think everybody understands at this point, and I don't want that. So you get to ask those questions in there. Ultimately, if you are a subscriber to Trade with Rob, we are now putting together a members page that will house the results that I'm showing you here. But what we're going to be showing is not per se the same results or the same way I'm showing it to you right here. We're trying to figure out the model of how we're going to do it. I think we're going to model this into a Google spreadsheet, a Google Doc, because this goes all the way back where you can see every trade, win, lose, draw, every day that I've done videos since June 25th of this year, right? And that's where we get our 94 candidates overall for that setup. Okay. So we're going to have that, and this video will be housed on there. So as a subscriber to Trade with Rob, and it's free, there's nothing to it. You'll get an email that says, hey, here's the video Rob just put out, and here are the other candidates on the list that Rob didn't get to put on the video. So you can go watch those. You will also get access to the members area, which has this training video in it. And inside that same members area will be access to the sheet that I have here, whether it's a spreadsheet or it's a PowerPoint. I don't know how we're going to do it, but you'll have access to see all of the trades inside of there of what I do. Okay. And that's for subscribing to it. So it's free. Now, if you go ahead, Andrew, if you drop in tradinglikeaboss.com, the link, you can go there, get registered if you're not. Oh, and if you are not registered, we still put the video on YouTube. It'll still be up there, but the training will be housed on the members area only. So you need to be a subscriber to get access to that. Hint, hint, nod, nod. I want you to subscribe to the email, because the more often you see that email come through, the more likely you're going to go watch that video, and the more likely you're going to take action on it. And when you find a candidate that fits your risk, right? So pretty good last week. If you look at it, 650, 67, 665, $670, whatever that comes out to be, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, somewhere around 650, call it, for the 25th. Not too shabby. On power option plays on pop, we had trades go off between the 24th and 26th, which was Tuesday through Thursday. One contract trades, AMD, Goldman Sachs, we did one each day, the 24th and the 26th. We did not do 25th. Lilly and NVIDIA both on the 24th. Total there was $1,463 for those 5 trade setups. One contract trades. Remember, none of this is about, I need to have a lot of money. Switchback trades are all one trades. Power option plays is just one trade. I don't say it enough, but I used to say it all the time as a sign off. Remember, you're just one trade away. Okay? So that's exactly what it is. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the market. Jim said, Andrew, put up the links to Trading Like a Boss at 11:02 a.m. for you. Last week were very good trades. Yeah, very much appreciated, Jim. Thank you. Let's see. Let's go over and take a look at the market and see exactamundo what's happening right now. So we got the S&P 500. By the way, Home Depot was a great setup today as well. We had a really nice move, and this is my signature entry, right? We want to see ideally we saw a move up. We pulled back. We closed above, stretched higher, but we closed above. My bad, I'm on the line. Let me zoom in on this. I was missing that line. Moved up, same pattern, pulled back. We closed above. We retested on this 5-minute candle and bounced, and there was the entry. So we're in at about 401. Right now it's at 403.25. So overall, very nice move on the depot today as well. Okay. Whoops. Let's go back there. All right. S&P 500. Let's start off there. So I love the pattern. You know, Wednesday, Thursday, big move up. Friday, pull back. Not surprisingly, Friday we got a little bit of profit taking. Piece of cake, right? We got a nice bounce today. I went in depth last week in Inner Circle. We went and talked about future forward forecasting. So in other words, here we have the S&P 500, which was near an all-time high. Right here was all-time high. So we're near an all-time high. How do we forecast out of where it's going to? Yes, we've got fib lines up there that we could focus on, but how much of a confluence can I find using another Fibonacci tool? Right. And we went through a lot of questions. Rick was there last week. I don't know. There's too many people to really see who was here. I don't see Trader Will in here. Scott, there's so many people to see. Tripp was there, but I know he's not here as well today. But we went over it last week and just knock down, drag out, great conversation of what about this? What about that? How do we use it here? How do we use it there? And then we moved it over to individual stocks. So I've got where the fib started, where the fib ended, the deepest pullback we took. That's our ABC. And we extrapolate out 3 lines, a 236, a 618, and a 1, right? And we got through the 236. We retested and bounced. Perfection in the making. We came up, we ran to the 618, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days now in a row. We've played around with that 618 line that's drawn in. That's how powerful the line is. We're at all-time highs at this point, okay? All-time highs in here. You know, again, recent within the last 2 days. Thursday is the all-time high we've seen. Let's see this. Okay, I'm going to scrunch. All right, so now what are we looking at here? Well, I like the pattern overall. So if we get the bounce here, 57.96 is my target. 5,800 is close enough. If we do break down below the 57.24, we've got our moving average, 57.14. We're looking at 56.51 is our target there. Confluence today, anyway, of the 21. Confluence of the 8 with the 57.24. So we've got overall nice help from our moving averages. Again, we always look for confluence. There's a confluence between the 57.31 and 57.24. Very, very, very strong there with that 618 level. And I'm going to, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be teaching more on these fib forecasting and a few other fib tools as well. All right. So overall pattern, very nice. If we go back and look further historical, what do we got here? Nope, sorry, that's 5 minutes. I went to grab the weekly. Got 5 charts open that are all the S&P 500 right now. So, all right, so here's the weekly chart. You can see 4 weeks ago we had a bearish week Other than that, these three in a row, of course, that came down. But other than that, we've had overall, good results. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 8 weeks, we've had one down week without counting those three in there. If we look at the monthly chart, though, and this is really where it speaks volumes. We've only had 1 month down since November of last year. That's including November. We only had one bearish month the entire time. Now, we had months that we didn't do a whole lot, right? We closed here, and then we closed here. We didn't do a whole lot. We had a big move last month. Big move, right? In August. Big move down. Same thing this month. We had a big stretch to the downside, pushing up higher, right? Again, overall pattern, definitely on the bull side, definitely liking where we are. If we look at VIX, let's go over here. That's right. So we should be back on the daily chart, not on the weekly chart. All right, so we look at VIX. We're down 35 cents today. I think Friday was overreaction on the VIX. Personal preference there, but overall, we're flat, guys. We're low. We're at 16.5. There's nothing. There's no real volatility in the market. None. Jim said on the market intelligence report, the S&P 500 daily chart 6 volume bars showed the same volume before last Friday. You might want to look into this, see if it was bad data or if it really was the same volume. It's a good point, Jim. I didn't notice that on volume bars. So maybe I'll take a look, see what I come up. We've had fairly flat volume most of last week overall, but yeah, the SP hasn't given us a lot of excitement running out there on it whatsoever, right? So oh, not on CCI. Oh, my bad. I'm looking at CCI. I'm on the wrong chart. Good catch again, Jim. Don't save. I had started on this chart originally when we started up today, and then I moved it so we can look at where the earnings were. Yeah, the data, everything is the same data. It's probably bad data. It's probably bad ticks. I'll bring that up to them. Andrew, tell Suzanne we need to reach out to Genesis and tell them the data looks bad on $SPX. The volume looks bad for the last, for all of last week. Something seems off. It's going to throw the overall averages and everything off. Good catch. All right. So if I take us back one more time over here, let's talk about buy and hold. Right? Let's talk about my buy and hold strategy. This is a question that comes up a lot that I get asked on. What are you doing? You bought some shares, it went down. Now what do you do? There's a reason I trade options and I don't trade stock, right? And the biggest reason for that to me is I'm not a great stock picker. It's just not in my wheelhouse. And what I mean by that is I'm not good at trying to find that very bottom right now, and I'm going to buy it and hold on to it for the next 6 months or 6 years. I'm not real good at that, right? I'm also fairly impatient. So once it missed the bottom, I'm either going to jump in too late just for the sake of I want to take the trade anyway, or I'm not going to take something that maybe moved $1 or $2 waiting for a pullback. It never pulls back and it runs $100, and I miss out on the entire thing. So I put together a model for me that seems to work, right? So if we look at first symbol in, someone give me a stock that's over $200. First one in, I'll take a look at that stock. Just don't give me booking or something. Costco. All right, Stephanie put in Costco. All right, a little bit over. Okay. My fibs are pulled back because I have to redraw them this evening. When we were in Inner Circle the other day, I said, wait, I think I need to redraw this, and rechecked and said, yes, we do. Right? We had broken above the 618 on the close. No, it was 382. But I think this distance we were just too far back. We're looking for a newer move, and we had this in here, right? So, but if I'm looking at this now, let me pull this fib out, and we'll use this fib as our example, right? If I am looking at this, we are in a neutral bias, right? We're in a neutral bias right now. Okay, so first thing I want to see, step one is bias must be true bull. True usually ends with an E, at least in most of the 50 states. So we've got a neutral bias right now. I'm not there. But with that being said, if we get above this fib line, which is above the 21, which get just above that is the 8, just above that is the 900 level, we're there. Okay. So I need to find a stock that's at least in that type of a setting. All right. So next, we find a stock that has, let me bring it where you can see the chart on the screen, at least behind this. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Nah, I don't want to move too much. Let me just narrow it up. I don't want to be stretching all the way over here to read what I'm typing. Okay. Bias must be bullish. That's right, ish. No, true ball. That's what it was, true ball. Okay. Next, I want a retest of the current fib line. What does that mean? Whatever fib is there. We get above here, right? We're in a neutral bias. Now we're up in bull. Retest the fib and bounce, right? That's what I want, that retest. Right, so retest of the current fib line and a bounce. Into the trade. Right, and I would do this on a 5-minute chart. That's the time frame that I look to trade off of, is 5 minute. Right, if you look at my 4-pack system set up on TradeStation, which I closed down now because it was giving me trouble, so I didn't want to mess up with Zoom today. If you look at the 4-pack system on there, I've got 5 charts on my 4-pack. One of them, the upper right corner, is the S&P 500, but I've got a 1 minute, a 5 minute, a 30 minute, and a daily. All right. So I look at that 5-minute chart, top center. I look at the 5-minute chart, and that helps me to understand what the market's doing. I transfer, if need be, on if you're using Omega charts in real time, you don't have to transfer lines over from one time frame. If you're using TOS, you don't transfer. If you're using TradeStation 10, you don't transfer. 9.5, you have to transfer. I still use 9.5. I found too many bugs in 10. Doesn't work in our office when recording and the software that we use. So I've stayed away from it completely to try not have to remember 2 different platforms. All right. So I'm looking at that 5-minute chart saying, all right, I want to see the bounce, just like we did on a short on Home Depot. I'm looking for some kind of bounce to take place. It moved up, it pulled back, closed here, pulled back, bounce. Nice. Nice. Okay. So we need to have that bounce in there. Now, maybe I want to do it like this. Let's do this. Let's have one in front of this. Oh, no, that was one. Right? Determine how much money you will allocate to the purchase of the stock. Whoop, I guess I hit a caps lock somewhere along the way. how much cash you're going to put into that position. Okay, and that's going to have a big impact on what you do going forward. And I'll show you that in just a moment. So as an example, I'm going to say that we're going to put $25,000 in there. 25K. It keeps changing on me. So we're going to use $25,000 total allocation trade. And if it's 5,000, whatever the number is, just make that adjustment on your end. Okay. I'm just going to use a number of 25,000. For me, my goal is to make this over 5 different entry times. Knowing that I am impatient, I am not picking the best entry for that long term. And a lot of it comes down to this, guys. When I say I'm impatient, it really isn't just that. NVIDIA comes out and announces great earnings. They jump. Analysts come out, say, next best thing since sliced bread. We expect this thing to rock for the next couple of years. It jumps up, and I don't really have an opportunity for a pullback, and I won't see one anytime over the next couple of weeks or months, maybe. So that may be my very first entry into the trade, is my first opportunity to find a place that I am comfortable with. So what does that mean? Bias is a true bull. I got a retest of the current fib line and a bounce. Enter the trade on the 5-minute. I'll just do this because that line is getting kind of long. Take one allocation allocations, I don't know if that's the right way of spelling it, but one allocation's worth of entry. $25K divided by 5 allocations equals 5K. So you're going to put $5,000 into that trade. When you said, okay, this is my first entry, I'm taking it here. And for me, it normally comes around news of that stock, news of an industry, something that's telling me, all right, I need to be focused on this position, this industry. NVIDIA, I'd always liked it. I had traded in that, been hundreds of times on NVIDIA. Loved it when it was a lot higher price stock, but not for the stock, for the options. Still trade NVIDIA regularly on the options. We do it in POP, we do it in Trade with Rob, all over the place, right? Again, everything non-funded. But I take an allocation, and if it goes up, it's a home run or it's a bonus to me. But it may not necessarily be what I'm expecting. If it pulls back, I am not the, oh my God, it's time to drop out of this. I don't buy stocks that I do not believe for the long run are not going to have massive growth. If I'm not doing it for the long run, then why do it as a stock? Why not just buy an option where I've got massively better leverage than I do with the stock? Right? So I will jump into that trade and I'll take $5,000 worth of that trade, or $5,000-ish worth. Right? You've got to look at what that stock can get you. Right? It may be $5,100, it may be $4,900, maybe $4,200. Right? Maybe $4,200 or $7,000. I don't want to put $7,000. Right? At that point, I may have to change my allocation to not 5 times, or maybe 3 or 4 times if I need to make adjustments based on price. And of course, when we get into Costco, it's a much more expensive stock. Okay. On Costco. Let me just put that back up front there. Right. So I take the first allocation. Right. My next step is the very most difficult thing in the world for me personally to ever accomplish. Wait. Don't want to wait. Go look up on the internet, post a child for impatient, and you'll see my picture. I don't want to wait. With long-term buy and hold, I don't have a choice. Right? This is why when I do covered calls, I write the covered call premium immediately. This is why I like naked puts better than covered calls, because I get paid today, where I have no outlay of cash. Yeah, I've got some stock that's on hold, or some cash that's on hold, but not really on hold. Even if I have nothing in the account but cash, and I've got $5,000 on hold, and that's all I had in the account was $5,000, I could still go buy $5,000 of stock with that money, and still be okay, because that money can be used as a double-edged sword. I can use stock as the leverage, the margin against that naked put, right? Most brokers allow you to do it. You wait. But what are you waiting for? For another entry opportunity. Right? So A would be the stock goes up. Right? Well, for that, I'm looking for, if it's moving up, I want a pullback to a key level to take the next entry allocation. So another $5,000, right? So the stock's moved up, it's pulled back to some sort of key level, Fibonacci, horizontal support and resistance, parabolic SAR, if that's what you're using, Bollinger Bands. I don't care what your indicator set is. What triggers you to say, this is what I want? For me, I don't have to write it down. You know it's a Fibonacci line, and you know I prefer if there was a moving average there. Just bottom line. Give me a fib, give me a moving average. We just got nirvana. Not NVIDIA, nirvana. Okay? So that's if we get the move up. What if the move is down? This is where it becomes a little bit harder. Keep in mind that I own that stock and I have the expectation that we're going to move up over a period of time. But I'm also not stupid. I realize that no matter how good the news was yesterday, tomorrow could be disastrous. And we could easily be out of, we could easily go broke holding on to that stock, right? So assuming my stop wasn't hit, wait for the stock to stop dropping and bounce. Off of a key level. Actually, let's just do it here. Bounce off of a key level, right? And I love this phrase, don't catch a falling piano. When I would teach if we were in a live workshop environment right now, I would stand up in front of the room and I'd stand there and I'd say, okay, you're walking down the street in Manhattan and you look up and you see a piano fall. What are your first instinct? What do you do? You go to catch it, right? No, hell no, you don't. You walk out of the way, it's going to hit the ground, pick the broken piece, something, call it a day, right? Don't catch a falling piano. Don't catch a falling knife, whatever phrase, suits you, whatever fits your, floats your boat. I'm fine with that. I don't want to be there as that stock and trying to enter as the stock is dropping. I want to feel that the stock has hit a bottom. Maybe there's some good market news has just come out on that stock and you're getting a bounce off of a key level, right? And you'll find in many cases, if it's market news. So as an example, if this was market news, and let's just say that Costco, right, came out and just did this. Market's dropping, Costco did this, right? That's the last candle on Costco right now, and it's been a couple of days, couple of weeks, whatever it is, okay? And then all of a sudden, we get great news on the market. Let's say the market's been going down as well. The S&P is also down. We get great news on the market, right? And you see this happen. So Costco opens up right about here and falls hard. And it gets down to this next fib level, this next key level. And we bounce. Let's say gap down, just because I drew it that way. I don't want to redraw everything. Let's say gap down. And it pierced through a fib line, and then it bounces, and it bounces hard. You will see that happen again and again and again and again and again. Go back and look at the S&P 500, you'll find it, and so forth. So if I got that if you think about it, now, and here's where, I don't know if it's going to bring this up. Yeah, it won't. Yeah, I won't let me put it in because I've got the drawing in there. So think about it. On this day, right here, when we got the gap down, who was in charge? The bears. The bears. So even though the market's going up, the bears said, let's see if we can't scare everybody into more selling and push it down even further. Let's drive the price of those puts up, right? I want to make more money on my put options. I want to make more money on my shorts. Let's drive the price up, on those puts. The bears were in control. But once we bounced off that key level with a confluence of 800 points there, and we start moving higher, the bulls have now taken back over, or attempting to take back over, right? I would be okay with this bounce as my second allocation. Yeah, but Rob, you bought it at 900, now it's at 800. I know. If my stop was not triggered, I'm assuming my stop was down below there. If my stop was not triggered on this position, then I'm going to hold, and I'm going to buy my next allocation. And I don't normally say, well, I spent $5,000 the first time, let's do $10,000 the next time. Nope, don't do that. I don't. I'll put another allocation, another $5,000. If that means 13 shares, it's 13 shares, whatever it is. All right. And in a $900 stock, if it was $1,000 stock, you could only buy 10 shares for $5,000. So you get 10 or 11 shares is all you'd be able to pick up here. Whatever it is. I will say this. I do prefer to pick them up where I can get 100 share increments on my stock. Because I like the opportunity or the ability, if I want to, of writing covered calls. If there's a chance, and I like the place I'm doing it at, I'll write the covered calls. Only if I've got some profit on the position normally. All right. So second allocation is going to be there. So when I talk about down and up, that's C. Use this for all additional allocations. We get a bounce and we move up off of that low there. It moved down, it bounced up, it hit a key level and it bounced. I take a second allocation, it starts moving up, pulls back and bounces. I'll take a third allocation. You may want to wait for it to get, depending on how far away it is, you may want to wait for it to get back into a bullish territory and not do it in bearish territory. That's up to you. And it's very open for me. It's very open for me when I look at, am I taking it in, if it's still in a bearish mode, meaning it's still down below the moving averages, hasn't got to a bullish bias, or am I not? And as long as I can get the signs, using Fibonacci, and we get past my ABC pattern, we get past the A, I'm good for a bullish pattern. Meaning, if we went back to the S&P 500, we got past A. It's not really A, but the ABC. We got past our first line of 236. In here, we pulled back and bounced. Perfection. It was an SPY setup. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. We're taking the entry, and it's not looked back ever since, right? Was there another entry opportunity? Yeah. So let's say that you bought some here. You waited for this. You got the bounce up. It pulled back up. You took the entry in there on that big move where the bears tried but couldn't control it. So that's entry number 2. I'm waiting for a bounce. I gapped up, no bounce. Moved higher, pulled back, bounce. All right, there's potentially entry number 3. Okay. I don't try to buy it all at one time. Now, if you're trading with a smaller account, you may only be able to trade 5 or 10 shares. So do you want to buy 1 or 2 shares at a time? You've got to look at commission costs and and all of those things in there. If you're buying a $12 stock, $1 of commission, for one share may become too costly for you. You've got to look at your overall strategy and your situation to determine, is this the right one for me? I'll put it back up, but when I look at it, guys, gals, folks, this is it. I mean, that is the majority of what I would do right there for my buys, right? I have multiple stocks that I own, the NVIDIAs of the world, the Teslas of the world, the Googles and the Amazon. I'm very much tech driven on my stocks. Haven't done direct AI like OpenAI, haven't done any of that. And then today you got California just came out and said they're trying to put laws in place to limit what can be done with AI from the manufacturer standpoint. And since more than half of the AI companies are in California, they even said that they want a kill switch in there, that the manufacturer, the company, could hit it and all the data just goes away. I don't get that. What would be the purpose of that? I've just spent the last year or two developing prompts, the key work that I'm doing in AI. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are using AI on a regular basis? Give me a 1 for yes or 2 for no. So right now, quick glance, we are 20% yes, 80% no. And I'm not judging at all. Okay, I use it every single day, right? We have hundreds of prompts that we have built out. I'll give you an example. I've got a prompt right now for writing a book, a couple of prompts, but maybe 3 or 4 for writing a book. And when it's all said and done, a couple hours later, you've got a whole book created, okay? Edited, all of that, pictures, whatever. That prompt is going to be broken up later, probably the beginning of next year, based on one of the masterminds that I am in for marketing. We're going to be breaking that up into 45 different prompts, which the way that it's going to work, every prompt will have a very specific task. If you remember, Bruce Willis was in the movie, it was in outer space. He was a taxi driver, got in all kinds of trouble, got warnings and violations. And there was this blue octopus thingy monster that was a singer. And it was all about saving the world, right? Well, anyway, never mind. I just can't remember the name. I'll remember it after, right? But when you look at there was a good correlation to some of the things they did there. If you can remember the name of the movie, there were good correlations of some of the things that they did in there, of how they went looking for very specifics. And what I mean by that is the bad guy, the demon, Fifth Element. Thank you, Rick. The demon, the bad guy, is he's sitting at his desk, he's showing off to this priest, and he presses a button, and this one little animal thingy that they created comes out, that they made comes out and puts a coaster. Another one comes out and pours the water. Another one came out and vacuumed the rug. Another one came out with a broom. Someone else came out with a shovel. Everybody had very specific jobs, right? And AI is moving to where you can have very specific jobs, right? Those of you that use businesses, you should be using it. Those of you that are not using it, you're probably 6 to 12 months away from being 5 years behind. Just as an FYI, OpenAI is free right now. You can use the free service on there. I would take advantage of it and go look and learn exactly what to do. I mean, we've got it now where our team members, people on my team, are not checking emails any longer. They've got keywords that they've set up there that said, if any of these words show up or any of these people show up, not only put the email in my inbox, but send me a text message so I know that it's from Rob. Let's say I sent the email. I need to go check that right now, right? But I don't need to check anything else that comes in as this, and this, right? And so there's a lot of things you could do. My daughter has just used it to plan a vacation. Everything on the vacation, she fed it into a prompt that she had gotten, and it literally laid out an itinerary of her for what to do, because she wanted 3 different hotels, what to do on the way as you're traveling to each hotel, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's so much you can do with it. AI is going to be a very big part of the market between NVIDIA, right? OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple now, right? There's a new commercial out with Apple AI, right? Where it's now on their phones, right? Whatever their newest version is. All the phones are going to have AI to them, okay? And it's, I mean, what do I have? It's Copilot, right? I've got Microsoft. I think it's called Copilot. Yeah. So this is on my desktop, right? You ready? Give me the top, that was not top 10 earnings announcements for today in the US stock market. That's not right. I don't use Copilot. We have Perplexity, Claude. Yeah, so we'll give that a thumbs down because you did not do a good job. Try it again. Top 10 earnings announcements for today, 9/30/24 in the US stock market. Let's see if that makes any difference. No. All right. You do this on some of the other platforms and it will tell you, here's who's announcing company, here's who's announcing earnings and so forth. Can you tell me how many shares of stock the CEO of Costco owns? And is there anything on the books that they're going to buy or sell more stock? That's the way you can use it in the market. Every day, start with 15 minutes a day using it, but every single day. I love all of them. When I say all of them, I use Claude, I use Chat GPT, and we use Perplexity. Those three platforms. All right. They're all great. And again, you can do all kinds of stock market stuff. And if you're a programmer like Rick, you may not need it. But if you're not a programmer like Rick, you can go out there and say, write me a program. And we did this on GPT. Write me a program for TradeStation 9.5, where the 8 moving average crosses over the 21 moving average and plot a point on the screen. Now you're going to need a little bit more than that, but you can tell it to do that. And it'll write in G code, well, it's not G code, but in their code, in the TradeStation code, which is easy language. They lie, it's not easy, but it'll write in easy language for you the code that you could drop into TradeStation and test. There's so much availability for it, or possibility for it. All right. We're at that time. It's stock pick time. What candidates would you like me to take a look at? Drop them in. Cisco. Sounds familiar, Rick. And he wants the CSCO, not SYCO. All right, so let's see. So we looked at this the other night, and in a circle, we've got a really nice move up. It's a very small dollar amount. I'd love to see at least $3 inside of here, but if you can't get it, you can't get it. At least you know where you're at. Good, strong move. I love that the 8 moving average, we're just not even coming back to it at all, right? It's just, since that one little pullback, we haven't gotten any, and even that we didn't, but since we broke through it, we really haven't even pulled back to the 8 at all. You can then use a shorter time frame moving average. You can go to a 5. I probably wouldn't go anything less than that. But you can go to a 5 moving average and look for bounces off of there. All right, but Cisco's been on a tear from 44 up to 53. So that's a phenomenal move for a company like that, you know, for a price like that. No confluence, but I'd love to see us hang for another day or two. The 8 get up near that 52 3/4 level bounce, and then 53.5. Let's see. $1.50 a day, 52 3/4. So 50. Yeah, okay, so I'm looking at 53.5. So it's $1.50. So I'd probably have to split that level in half. There you go, 54 1/4. Okay. Yeah, amazing what you can do when Cisco announces layoffs. Exactly, right? Price goes up. They're going to save some money. All right, I hope that helps, Rick. Let's look at PayPal. UIPL. Henry was asking for that one. All right, so I have no fibs drawn on this thing for a very long time at this point. And that's from about when we stopped tracking it in pop. So I don't have a big enough room. If I draw the fib in here, 64 to 65, 6, so we've got, it's not enough, right? I think I like better to come from that pullback. Do that one more time. I went too far, took my mouse off the screen up to here. Right? So this would be what we call a hiccup. When you see that pullbacks happened in the middle of the overall pattern, it's ironic that it happened there and you didn't even know the lines existed. Didn't even know they existed, but it happened where it pulled back to the 50 and bounced. Go figure, right? Of all places to do it. 67 to 69.5. It's not quite 3, but it's better than what we had. We're looking at $4.42. So $4.50 is our Fibit. So if we look in here, 67 to 69, we've got less than 4.5. We're good. 75 to 80 is $5. 4.5. We're right there. We're going to put in the -1. We're going to put a -136 and a 118. It's close enough. We pulled right back to the middle. Beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. So Henry, we're pretty close with the 8. So the bounce off of here, 80.5 would be my first target. Above that would be 83.5. I like it. They've made a really nice move. They've come back. And just FYI, all right, from a company like PayPal, I have gone to, when I am shopping online now, and I am not going to an Amazon or something like that I trust. I don't even know if Amazon gives the option, but if a company allows me to buy with PayPal, I still do. I will buy with PayPal instead of buying directly with my American Express. And what I've done is, though, do not hook PayPal up to your bank account. Do not let them take the monies. Don't let your preference be your checking account for the money to come out of. You may like it better that way, but if there's a dispute, it's now up to PayPal whether or not you get your money back. It's not up to the credit card company. Credit card company wants your business. They're going to fight for you. PayPal has been horrible. They have treated me horribly in the past, where they said in their terms of service used to say you can't dispute with the credit card company. So I disputed with them. A website I was having built, it was 10 pages. I was paying $1,000. The guy made 1 page. It took him 6 months. He was supposed to be done in 3 weeks. And PayPal said, no, we're sorry. As far as we're concerned, he did what he was responsible for. So we're not giving you money back. So I went to American Express and said, PayPal said I can't dispute it. They go, of course you can. Ding, disputed, no problem. And I got all my money back. PayPal didn't do anything, but they were violating the American Express or credit card company's terms of service. I can go ahead and do it. There's a reason I use them, though. There's another level of security between your credit card and the company that you're entering it in. You don't know. And if you're unsure, go on Facebook Marketplace and go search gazebo, and you'll see people selling brand new gazebos shipped directly to you for $99. 12 foot by 12 foot, made out of cedar with steel, aluminum roofs. They lie. They have your credit card info. If I give them my PayPal, if they do it through PayPal, I'm protected because they're billing PayPal. They're not billing the Amex. They're billing PayPal. PayPal hits the Amex. All right. So I like it better, but I would never trust them with my money. Brenda said they hacked into my account and I never had an account with them. Lucky for me, my bank knew who they were and I didn't know who. Well, yeah. And listen, we live in the world of being hacked now. And this is just another level of security. By the way, there is a magic number. Ironically, it happens to be a Fibonacci number, 13, right? I forgot the exact level. I've got a screenshot of it on my phone, but 13 should be the minimum number of characters. Actually, you can get away with 12. The minimum number of characters a password should be, because this was something like 13,000 years to crack. Right? And it assumes you use capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and custom symbols like exclamation, question mark, asterisk, whatever. Right? Let's use those custom symbols in there. So if you're using these 6-word passwords, if anybody even lets you do that anymore, don't. All right. So I hope that was helpful. We got a little bit off a tangent there, but Henry, I hope that was helpful on PayPal. Chewy. CHWY. As you can tell, I don't trade it. If I were going to draw a fib on it, the first place, oh God, I don't know why that's like that though. I would definitely want to check that close and make sure it was a real closing price. Go and compare it against, TradeStation TOS or something. But it's just going to be too whack up there. It's just nothing's realistic there. It makes it very difficult. Even if I went off there, it makes it very difficult if that is not accurate. 22.86, 24.69, 21 and 22.86. So $1.75. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. Get me a let's see, 30.60. So 30.5 to 34.75, 2.25, but 2.65. So we're okay. We don't need a fib in there. Get me above the 30 and 5/8. Wow, can't believe I just said that. I was working in my wood shop yesterday. 5/8 is 0.625. Get me above the 30.5. Retest and bounce. 34.75 is resistance. So maybe 34, 34.25. Somewhere in there is going to be my target. Right. If it drops down, I wouldn't do anything below until you got below the 27 level down here. All right. Hope that helps, Stephanie. Karen's asking for SMCI. Look at the entire fib. All right, I'm going to put an 882 in here for the purposes only of, yeah, we closed below. We closed below it. 882. Yeah, I'm just going to redraw. Yeah, 720 to 780. Yeah, we've got plenty of room in there. So we're good. 345 to 375 to 475. It's 130 points. 130. We're at 7. Yeah, we need to split the levels in half. So even at that, it's too big. I'm there. I need a negative 136 and a 118. So 345, that gives me 50.62. Perfect. So break down below that 413 retest and drop on SMCI. And we're looking at 347 as support, maybe 350, 51, somewhere in that area for target. Wait, that's on SMCI, Karen? Is a split tonight? Yes. Okay. I'm not showing it here. Doesn't mean it's not. Yeah, and I'd like to know the ratio, Karen. Let's make sure it's not a reverse also. Because if they announced the split on this and they announced it anytime after March of this year, the stock has just been in a down tear, and that would be a huge mistake on the company's part. Let's see something. Yeah, so it's not showing a split on it there. Interesting. All right, Brenda's asking for SPY. Yeah, get above the 571.5, which is what I'm waiting for, Brenda, a retest and a bounce. And I'm all over it. I would look at the recent swing high here, whatever the high of that candle is, as my first target. So right about 574.75-ish. From there, it's 578.75 resistance. 577, give or take, would be the target. Last one, Mr. Softy, MSFT. It's funny, I was going through Facebook buy and sell yesterday, and They had a Mr. Softy route for sale for $60,000, which I thought was hysterical. So on Microsoft, we're showing a lot of weakness. I mean, look in the last 10, 12 days, whatever it is, you had one bullish candle. So I don't really want to do anything on this until we get down below that 426.64 on a close. Ideally, I'd love to see it at least 425, 424 retest and drop. And if it does, Rick, I'm looking down at that 417 level as our next target. So yowza, I like the opportunity here a lot, a whole lot. Yeah, you're welcome, Rick. All right, there you have it, folks. So listen, I'm going to leave the room open a couple of minutes. We've got a couple of links that Andrew dropped in there. Go ahead and grab those. Get registered for the Trade with Rob now. Oh, if you listen, guys, if you want to take advantage of that online class I'll be teaching on the switchback trade, you want to be part of that live training, all it takes is to be in Trading You at, whatever, $97, whatever the cost of it is now, I don't know. Whatever that is, just to become part of Trading You, register for that. Heck, there may be a quarterly. I don't know if there's a trial on the quarterly. If there is, you want to take the trial and cancel, that's your call, right? That's your one trial you're allowed. But take advantage of it, but you definitely want to be in this class, guys. This trade is crushing it. Half the candidates I put up are getting hit. We're taking those trades, and of them, we've got a very small percentage of them have gone against us. So with that, have a great rest of your day. God bless. I will see you all at our next update, folks. Take care. Bye.